Hello and welcome to VNA News Daily Bulletin. I'm Bảo Trung from Hanoi, and coming up next we have your top stories. Two major projects kicked off in the central coastal province of Quảng Nam. Ho Chi Minh City spends big to prevent flood. Consumer Price Index surged 0.33% in April. Prime Minister Nguyễn Xuân Phúc attended ceremonies to commence work on two major projects in the central coastal province of Quảng Nam on April 24th.
The first project is the South Hội An Resort Complex with a total capital of $4 billion, the biggest tourism project ever in the province. It is invested by VNA Capital Group and Gold Yield Enterprises. The project covers an area of 1,000 hectares and is expected to be completed by 2035. The five-star South Hội An Resort Complex will offer entertainment and recreational activities. Addressing the groundbreaking ceremony, Prime Minister Nguyễn Xuân Phúc stressed that the building of the resort complex will contribute to shifting regional economic structure and implementing the national strategy for spearhead tourist economic development. The Prime Minister also urged Quảng Nam Province to improve its business environment, provide vocational training and the local workforce for the project. Also on Sunday morning, Prime Minister Phúc attended a ceremony to kick off the construction of the 210-hectare expanded Chu Lai Trường Hải Auto Mechanical Industrial Park and the two roads that will link the Tam Hiệp port with the park. The park will have a car manufacturing factory with capacity of 100,000 units per year and a truck manufacturing factory producing 100,000 units per year, alongside bus and minibus manufacturing factories, each with capacity of 10,000 units per year. The investor Trường Hải Auto Group will also establish sea transport routes directly linking the park to the Republic of Korea, Japan and China to cut logistics costs. Prime Minister Phúc spoke highly of Trường Hải Group's contribution to the locality's socio-economic development as well as the country's auto industry. He affirmed the government will continue to create the best condition for the manufacturing sector for further development. The same day, the Prime Minister attended investment promotion conference in the province. He pledged the Vietnamese government would do its utmost to ensure a favorable investment climate for investors.
The Ho Chi Minh City People's Committee has licensed a project worth 10 trillion Vietnam dong, equivalent to $450 million to tackle flood in the southern largest economic hub. More in the following report.
The project will be implemented by the Trung Nam Construction Investment Joint Stock Company under the build and transfer method. It aims to fight flood and respond to climate change in an area of 570 square kilometers, affecting some 6.5 million residents along the Saigon riverbank and the downtown. The project will be carried out in May this year and is expected to be completed within 36 months. According to statistics from the city, District 8 usually faces serious floods caused by tidal surges, with 1,000 households living along canals in Ward 7 and 16 most affected. From 2011 to 2014, there were 76 tide spells, with their peaks exceeding 1.5 meters, which is higher than 63.5% of the city area.
The General Statistics Office has announced that in April, the Consumer Price Index increased by 0.33% against March. The April CPI also surged 1.89% compared to the same period last year and 1.33% against December 2015. The GSO reported on April 24th. Among the 11th groups of products and services, the highest increase was seen in transport, with a growth rate of 1.73%. High rise of fuel prices during the month were attributable to the increase. Housing and construction materials followed with 0.71% rise in prices. Restaurant and catering services and post and telecommunications saw no changes in their prices, while the prices of culture, entertainment and tourism services saw a slight decline of 0.01%. During the month, gold price witnessed a modest increase while the prices of US dollars remained stable due to the abundant supply from banks. The average Vietnam Dong to US dollars exchange rate in April hovered around 22,300 to 22,400. According to the office, the core inflation in April was up by 0.19% compared to March and 1.76% against the same period last year. As a small country with a modest population of 1.2 million and a range of difficulties, Timor-Leste is seeking to expand its cooperative ties with other nations around the world, including Vietnam.
Over the past 14 years since Timor-Leste gained independence, the country has spared no effort to rebuild itself and develop its economy. To date, Timor-Leste has established diplomatic ties with around 90 countries across the globe, including Vietnam, which was the first nation to recognize Timor-Leste when it unilaterally declared its independence in 1975. Since then, the two countries have witnessed great strides in strengthening their bilateral relations, with the establishment of diplomatic ties in 2002 and a joint committee in 2010, along with the exchange of high-level delegations. Currently, trade and investment cooperation between Vietnam and Timor-Leste remains modest, but shows great potentials.
Today, I'm very pleased to see that Vietnam has been very active in contributing or investing in our new economic development, and we hope that this can further strengthen the mutual interest and cooperation between our countries. We have Viettel, or Vietnam Telecommunications, invest in our country now, and we look forward to have more potential investors from Vietnam.
To attract more investors, Timor-Leste is offering many investment incentives for foreign businesses, including those from Vietnam.
Đất nước Timor-Leste thì họ đang rất là mong muốn.
Timor-Leste welcomes foreign investors with open arms. The government and relevant ministries as well are creating favorable conditions for international businesses, like exempting import tax.
Ví dụ như là tạo điều kiện miễn thuế.
As a nation relying heavily on imports, even for daily goods, Timor-Leste is hungry for investments in production. This could be seen as an opportunity for Vietnamese enterprises to invest in the country, particularly in oil refining, agriculture, fishery and aquatic product processing, infrastructure development, garments and textiles, among others.
Vietnam's small and medium-sized enterprises can invest in Timor-Leste. We hope that they will provide not just large-scale investments, but smaller ones too. Vietnamese businesses should make long-term, sustainable investments.
During high-level meetings, Vietnam and Timor-Leste agreed to boost their multifaceted cooperative ties, especially in economy, trade and investment for mutual development. By creating preferential conditions for Vietnamese citizens to settle and do business in its territory, the government of Timor-Leste is establishing an important bridge between enterprises of the two countries, not only for now, but also for the future.
The central province of Khánh Hòa plans to make its Nha Trang Beach an ecological park where seaside buildings can only have 40 floors at most.
The city could review space planning and could remove or make adjustments to buildings such as resorts, hotels, and restaurants east of Chân Phu Street, which runs along the beach. A master plan for Nha Trang approved by the Prime Minister in 2012 said buildings on its main streets could not be more than 40 floors tall. But then the province allowed companies to develop seaside high-rises to meet the needs of urbanization. Many said this was a mistake in urban planning. The presence of seaside high-rises created a wall along Nha Trang coast, blocking views and winds from the sea in inner residential areas and causing anger. Nha Trang Bay, once seen as one of the most beautiful bays in the world, is now packed with hotels and bars. No residents and architects have applauded the province's move to develop an ecological park along the east coast. Experts said the province could face difficulties building the park because removing high-rise buildings near the shore could require funding and agreement among authorities and investors. Meanwhile, the Khánh Hoa Association of Architects said the removal of coastal high-rises could have reduced environmental pollution and offer people more green space for entertainment and relaxation.
Getting vocational training and employment is a legitimate desire of thousands of disabled people. However, there are strings of obstacles hindering them to make their desires come true.
When he was a child, Nguyễn Đình Dương was diagnosed with a severe illness, which consequently paralyzed his legs and weakened both his arms. Despite these difficulties, Dương has developed a strong passion for art, even though for him, holding a paintbrush alone is a Herculean task.
It's been a passion of mine ever since I first held a paintbrush. It is difficult, but it makes me happy.
Unlike Dương, Bà Bông met with an accident while working in a factory, which left him with permanent spinal cord damage. Now, to use a computer's keyboard and mouse, Bông needs a special device attached to his hand.
After the accident, my whole life was different. I couldn't use my fingers to type on the computer.
Dương and Bông are two of many beneficiaries of Maison Chance, an NGO founded by a Swiss national named Alain Rebaud, which has been operating in Vietnam since 1995. Maison Chance is often considered a home for many disabled people, orphans and street children, and other generally disadvantaged people in Ho Chi Minh City. Over the last 20 years, the organization and its volunteers have accompanied hundreds of people in overcoming their difficulties.
I am happy with what I have, and I will continue to work here every day. With the help of my teacher and everybody, I'm learning how to use my hands again.
Alain Rebaud's work with Maison Chance has touched the hearts of many who once had nowhere to come. Now, Maison Chance is expanding its operation and improving its dedication and training system, as well as infrastructure. Alain's compassion continues to inspire her partners and volunteers both in Vietnam and around the world. Just because people are disabled doesn't mean they can't contribute, and when you help them develop their potentials, they can do amazing things. This is what drives me. I knew about Maison Chance when I was working on my master's degree in France. I think this is a fantastic organization with meaningful activities. To help disabled people integrate into society and resume their normal life, organizations like Maison Chance and people like Alain Rebaud play a tremendous role.
And that concludes our news bulletin. Thanks for watching. For more information, please log on to our website at vietnamplus.vn. We'll see you soon.